Hello once again. Our second lesson 1.2 on saying please by Alfred George Gardiner. The remaining part of the lesson from page number 17. What we saw in our previous video that our writer has a very nice experience related to the conductor. Now see the remaining part of the lesson. Page number 17. See the last para. A few days after, my most sensitive toe was trampled on rather heavily as I sat reading on the top of a bus. I looked up with some anger and more agony and saw my friend of cheerful countenance. "Sorry, sir," he said. "I know these are heavy boots. Got them because my own feet get trod on so much, and now I am treading on other people's. Hope I didn't hurt you, sir." He had hurt me, but he was so nice about it that I assured him he hadn't. After this, I began to observe him whenever I boarded his bus and found a curious pleasure in the constant good nature of his bearing. He seemed to have an inexhaustible fund of patience and a gift for making his passengers comfortable. I noticed that if it was raining, he would run up the stairs to give someone the tip that there was room inside. With old people, he was as considerate as a son, and with children, as solicitous as a father. He had evidently a peculiarly warm place in his heart for young people, and always indulged in some merry jest with them. If he had a blind man on board, it was not enough to set him down safely on the pavement. He would call to Bill in front to wait while he took him across the road, or round the corner, or otherwise safely on his way. In short, I found that he irradiated such an atmosphere of good temper and kindliness that a journey with him was a lesson in natural courtesy and good manners. Now see what the para is about. See, after few days, our writer has one more experience with the same conductor. At that time, the writer was sitting on the top of the bus and he was reading something. See, once again the writer was traveling through a bus and he got the seat on the top of a bus. That time, the writer was reading something. His toe became sensitive. Maybe his toe was injured. Understand? And the same conductor trampled the same toe. See, the writer became so angry and he looked up. At the same time, the conductor who trampled his toe said sorry with politeness. See, एके दिवशी काय घडलेलं आहे, लेखक पुन्हा प्रवास करत होता बसने. तो टॉप फ्लोअरला बसलेला होता आणि आपल्या सीटवर बसून काहीतरी रीडिंग चालू होतं लेखकाचं. लेखकाच्या पायाच्या अंगठ्याला काहीतरी दुखापत झालेली होती आणि त्या दिवशी तो सेम कंडक्टर त्या बसमध्ये होता आणि त्याचा पाय लेखकाच्या त्याच बोटावर, त्याच अंगठ्यावर पडलेला आहे. लेखकाला खूप दुखलेलं आहे. द रायटर वॉज हर्ट टोटली अँड ही बिकम सो अँग्री अँड ही लुक्ड अप. लेखकाला खूप राग आलेला आहे आणि रागाच्या भरात त्याने वर पाहिलेलं आहे. त्याने वर पाहिले तेवढ्यातच त्या कंडक्टरने सॉरी म्हटलेलं आहे. द कंडक्टर सेड सॉरी विथ पोलाइटनेस. द कंडक्टर वॉज सो पोलाइट अँड पोलाइटली ही सेड सॉरी टू द writer. He also told the writer that his own feet get trampled many times. That's why he purchased such heavy boots. What the conductor told the writer, that his own feet get trampled by many people. त्याच्या स्वतःचे पाय असे बऱ्याच लोकांनी तुडवले गेले होते. ट्रॅम्पल्ड मीन्स तुडवणे, ट्रॉड. ओके. आणि म्हणून त्याने काय केलेलं आहे, स्वतःसाठी हेवी बूट्स घेतलेले आहेत, जड असे शूज घेतलेले आहेत. अंडरस्टँड. अँड नाव ही इज टेलिंग दॅट नाव आय एम ट्रीडिंग ऑन अदर पीपल. He also assured that the writer didn't hurt by him. Actually, the writer was really hurt by that conductor, but because of his politeness, because of his friendly nature, the writer became so pleased and said no. बघा, कंडक्टर खूप पोलाइटली लेखकाशी बोललेला आहे. आपला पाय लेखकाच्या पायावर पडलेला आहे. कंडक्टरने स्वतः माफी मागितलेली आहे. सो इट इज अ गुड एक्झाम्पल ऑफ पोलाइटनेस. इट इज अ गुड एक्झाम्पल ऑफ कर्टसी. अंडरस्टँड की हे एक चांगलं उत्तम असं पोलाइटनेस, नम्रता, कर्टसी, सभ्यता याचं उदाहरण आहे. आणि या सभ्यतेमुळे लेखकाला आलेला राग लगेचच दूर झालेला आहे. जरी लेखकाचा पाय दुखावला गेलेला आहे, पण जेव्हा कंडक्टरने सॉरी म्हटलेलं आहे तेव्हा त्याने असं सांगितलेलं आहे की मला काही इजा झालेली नाहीये. सो सी द इफेक्ट ऑफ द वर्ड सॉरी or the effect of the word please or the effects of the words of courtesy. See, through such incidents, through such experiences, through such examples, the writer wanted to emphasize on the importance of the words of courtesy. See, in our lives too, we have to use the words of courtesy so that we can live our life so comfortably, so nicely and so happily. आपल्या लाईफमध्ये सुद्धा आपण हे असे शब्द वापरले पाहिजेत. सॉरी, थँक्यू, अंडरस्टँड. या वर्ड्सचा सुद्धा खूप चांगला परिणाम होत असतो. आपल्याकडून चूक झालेली आहे, मान्य करायची. चूक झालेली आहे की नाही. सो वी हॅव टू एक्सेप्ट whatever is the mistake of us, understand, and we have to make it a habit to say sorry, to say please. ही एक हॅबिट लावून घ्यायची आहे, एक सवय, एक वळण लावून घ्यायचं आहे. आणि जर तुम्ही असं वागलात तर तुमचं लाईफ तुम्ही खूप कम्फर्टेबली, खूप नाईसली, खूप हॅपीली जगू शकाल. ओके. आफ्टर दॅट इन्सिडेंट द रायटर बिगॅन टू ऑब्झर्व this conductor whenever he boarded his bus and always found him in a well manner. See, from that incident onwards, the writer began to observe this conductor, and every time he had the experience of his well manners. बघा, त्या इन्सिडेंट नंतर लेखकाने बऱ्याच वेळेला त्या कंडक्टरला ऑब्झर्व करण्याचा प्रयत्न केलेला आहे आणि प्रत्येक वेळेला त्याला खूप चांगला अनुभव आलेला आहे. He was so patient person and always tried to make his passengers comfortable. Writer noticed many good traits of his nature whenever he traveled through his bus. लेखकाला बरेचसे त्याच्या स्वभावाचे असे चांगले असे गुण, वैशिष्ट्य, पैलू त्याला दिसलेले आहेत. If it was raining outside, he would run up the stairs to give someone the tip that there was room inside. See, if it was raining outside, he always told the passengers to come inside. And what he used to tell them, that there is room inside. Room inside means there was a vacant place inside the bus. So he insisted the passengers to come inside the bus. With old people, he used to behave like a son. With children, he used to behave like a father, and for young people, also he had a warm place in his heart. If he had any blind man on the board, he not only set him down on the platform, but he took him across the road. So see, whoever his passenger was, though the passengers were old people, though there are children, though young people, though blind people, whoever was his passenger, he behaved with them so politely and so kindly. Nice. Now see, so for the writer, this conductor was a good example of good temper and kindness, as well as a natural courtesy and good manners. So our conductor is the good example of courtesy, politeness. The writer was thoroughly impressed by the ease with which he got through his work. If bad manners are infectious, good manners too are infectious. If we meet incivility, most of us apt to become uncivil. Same like politeness, courtesy also affects someone positively. So we should be courteous. We should polite. जर आपल्याकडे नम्रता असेल, सभ्यता असेल, तर we can achieve everything. Understand? We can overcome the problems, the difficulties in our lives. Understand? So here the writer wanted to tell his readers that politeness, courtesy is necessary to live our lives. Okay? Do you understand this para? Now see the next para. What struck me particularly was the ease with which he got through his work. If bad manners are infectious, so also are good manners. If we encounter incivility, most of us apt to become uncivil, but it is an unusually uncouth person who can be disagreeable with sunny people. It is with manners as with the weather. Nothing clears up my spirits like a fine day, said Keats, and a cheerful person descend on even the gloomiest of us with something of the benediction of a fine day. And so it was always fine, whether on the polite conductor's bus, and his own civility, his conciliatory address, and good humoured bearing infected his passengers. In lightening their spirits, he lightened his own task. His gaiety was not a wasteful luxury, but a sound investment. See, if we have the experience of incivility, see, if we meet incivility, most of us apt to become uncivil. So if we have the bad experiences, we try to become bad. And same like politeness, courtesy also affect someone positively, and that's why we should be positive, we should be polite. Understand? See what the writer here is telling, that bad manners are infectious, so also are good manners. It means that as the bad manners affect someone, good manners too have the positive effect on someone, and that's why we have to be good. Okay, now see the next para. I have missed him from my bus route of late, but I hope that only means that he was carried his sunshine onto another road. I cannot be too widely diffused in a rather drab world, and I make no apologies for writing a panegyric on an unknown bus conductor. If Wordsworth could gather lessons of wisdom for the poor leech gatherer on the lonely moor, I see no reason why lesser people should not take lessons in conduct for one who shows how a very modest calling may be dignified by good temper and kindly feeling. Afterwards, the writer didn't meet that conductor anymore, but he hoped that he was somewhere spreading his good nature. Though the writer didn't meet the conductor, but he was sure that conductor was somewhere and he was spreading his good nature. की कंडक्टर बरेच दिवस लेखकाची भेट झालेली नाहीये, पण लेखक शुअर आहे की कुठेतरी कंडक्टर दुसरीकडे असणार आहे आणि त्यांचं ते जे गुड नेचर आहे, वेल मॅनर आहे, ते स्प्रेड करत असणार आहेत. Writer gave us the example of Wordsworth. See, what is the example of Wordsworth? Wordsworth got the lesson of wisdom from the poor leech gatherer. Leech gatherer म्हणजे वळू गोळा करणारे जे लोक आहेत, अगदी लोएस्ट पीपल आहेत ते, तर ह्या लोकांकडून सुद्धा त्यांनी म्हणजे वर्ड्सवर्थ सारख्या पोएटने लेसन्स ऑफ विजडम, शहाणपण, चतुर किंवा हुशार याचे धडे वर्ड्सवर्थने कोणाकडून घेतलेले आहेत? लीच गॅदरर कडून. इट मीन्स दॅट नो वन इज इन्फेरियर, नो वन इज सुपेरियर. वी कॅन गेट any type of knowledge from any people. Understand? To get the knowledge, it doesn't mean that the person in front of us should be superior. We can get the knowledge from inferior people also. See, it is a matter of general agreement that the war has had a chilling effect upon those little everyday civilities of behavior that sweeten the general air. We must get those civilities back if we are make life kindly and tolerable for each other. We cannot get them back by invoking the law. The policeman is a necessary symbol and the law is necessary institution for a society that is still somewhat lower than the angels. But the law can only protect us against material attack, nor will the liftman's way of meeting moral affront by physical violence help us to restore these civilities. I suggest to him that he would have had a more subtle and effective revenge if he had treated the gentleman who would not say please with elaborate politeness. He would have had the victory not only over the boor but over himself, and that is the victory that counts. The polite man may lose the material advantage, but he always has the spiritual victory. I commend to the liftman a story of Chesterfield. In his time, the London streets were without the pavements of today, and the man who took the wall had the driest footing. I never give the wall to a scoundrel, said a man who met Chesterfield one day in the street. I always do, said Chesterfield, stepping with a bow into the road. I hope the liftman will agree that his revenge was much more sweet than if he had flung the fellow into the mud. See, according to the writer, the war has had an effect on civilities of behavior. If we want to live our lives kindly and tolerable for each other, we must get back those civilities. But law will not help us to get back those civilities. There is no law. There are no rules and regulations, no legislations to get back the civilities. So to get back the civilities is totally depends on the particular individual. Understand, law can only protect us against material attack. Now here once again the writer turned towards the liftman. It is true that he was hurt mentally, but the way he treated that person was against civility. See what that person, what that liftman do? He pushed that person. Understand? So his way was against civility. So the writer wanted to suggest that liftman, if he had treated that person politely, he would have had more effective revenge. So what the writer suggested the liftman, that he should be polite with that person. Understand? The polite man may lose the material advantage, but he always has the spiritual victory. Writer wished to tell the story of Chesterfield to the liftman. रायटरने चेस्टरफील्डची स्टोरी लिफ्टमनला सांगावीशी वाटते. आता चेस्टरफील्ड कोण आहेत, तर ते इंग्लिश स्टेट्समन आहेत, एक ऑथर आहेत. ओके, आता त्यांची स्टोरी काय सांगितलेली आहे बघा. इन द टाइम ऑफ चेस्टरफील्ड the London streets were without pavements. Pavements? Footpath. There were no footpaths in London in the time of Chesterfield. चेस्टरफील्डच्या पिरियडमध्ये लंडनमध्ये रस्त्याला पेवमेंट्स नव्हते, फुटपाथ्स नव्हते. अँड द मॅन हू टूक द वॉल हॅड द ड्रायस्ट फुटिंग. आणि जी लोक रस्त्याच्या अगदी कडेने जायचे त्यांना मग चांगला रस्ता, सुका रस्ता भेटत असायचे. Once Chesterfield was walking by the wall and he met one man in the street. What that man said to Chesterfield, that I never give the wall to a scoundrel. It means that here that man called Chesterfield as a scoundrel. But at that time he didn't get angry with that person, but he gave him a nice reply. What was his reply? That I always do. It means that person told that I never give the wall to scoundrel. तो माणूस काय म्हणालेला आहे की स्काउंड्रल जे मूर्ख लोक आहेत त्या लोकांना मी कधीच रस्ता देत नाही. मग हा काय म्हणालेला आहे, आय ऑलवेज डू. इट मीन्स दॅट इट इज जस्ट लाईक tit for tat. Understand how that person behave with Chesterfield. Chesterfield gave the same reply to him. Understand? So, in a polite manner, he treated that person. Chesterfield treated that person. The writer's intention was that Liftman would understand better from this example, and that's why our writer wanted to give the example of Chesterfield to the Liftman. Understand? Now see, I think you understand the lesson thoroughly. There are two examples, one of liftman and the second one of conductor. Here the writer emphasizes the importance of courtesy, politeness.